Hey folks, Shane here, Bond Street Mortgage. Um, I was out this weekend with some friends, and you know, a couple of them are looking to buy their first house, and so I just wanted to come on here and kind of discuss some of the things we were talking about. There's a lot of people when they start thinking about buying a house. They'll go online and they start either looking at houses or looking at mortgages and things like that. And the reality is that there's a lot of information online, and a lot of it, most of that information online is people like myself trying to give you information to then get you to do business with them, and that's what you find a lot when you're searching around for things online. So what you're kind of bombarded with as a consumer, as a first time home buyer, is a lot of different info and kind of everything pulling you in all these different directions, and it can be kind of overwhelming. The home buying process when you're buying your first home is overwhelming as it is. Let alone now you have these people trying to pull you in all different directions about work with me, do this, do that. And so I just wanted to kind of we were discussing a couple things. I just wanted to kind of come on here and answer a couple things publicly that kind of we had discussed. One of the big things my buddy says, what are interest rates like? The reality is it doesn't matter to you if you're not thinking about buying a house for a year or 2 years, and you're just starting the process. What the rates are today really don't matter to you. Now, we do have some cool programs here at Bond Street where we have some lock and shop programs. So if you are within that 2-month, 3-month window, and you don't have a property, we can lock you into a rate. If rates drop down and your advisor thinks it's a good idea to lock, we do have those options. But if you're thinking about buying a house a year from now or 2 years from now, what the rate is today really doesn't matter to you. So you shouldn't really be as focused on that. You should be more focused on getting your finances in order. What do I feel comfortable on a monthly payment? What bills can I pay down to eliminate some debt? And how much do I need for a down payment? So that kind of was the additional thing that a lot of people were talking about. How much do I need? Everyone says 20% down, 20% down, 20% down. And by all means, if you have 20% to put down, it is a great option for a lot of people if you have it. Reality is, though, a lot of first-time home buyers now don't have the 20% to put down. So what are my options, and what does it mean if I put less than 20% down? So ideally, yes, having 20% down. What happens is you don't have to pay mortgage insurance, right? So you put 20% down on your purchase, you don't have to pay mortgage insurance, and your monthly payment will tend to be, a little, it'll be lower. Your loan amount's lower, and you don't have that mortgage insurance. Now, anything less than 20% down that you're putting down, you will pay mortgage insurance. And the closer you are to that 20%, the less your mortgage insurance will be. The less you put down, the higher your mortgage insurance is going to be. But a lot of people, especially first-time home buyers, they have a good job, they have good income, they've eliminated a lot of their debt, but they don't have a lot of savings. So there are a lot of programs, out there that'll let you get into a house with, 3% down conventional, 3.5% down, FHA. When you go with that FHA loan, your mortgage insurance is there, but your rate tends to be a little bit lower, which kind of offsets that. So there are a lot of different options as far as down payment. But don't let it dissuade you. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to take me, 4 or 5 years to save up that, that 20% down. And I mean, you're going to be dumping then for 4 or 5 years all your money into rent. Instead, it might not be a bad idea to just put a little bit less down if you have it now and pay that extra couple $100 a month or whatever it might be in mortgage insurance. But at least you're building equity as you're doing it. You could always refinance out later. When you have that payment, pay a little bit more per month to get closer to that that amount of equity, because that mortgage insurance will drop off on a conventional loan when you get that 20% equity in the property. So if you pay a little bit extra every month, now you might be able to eliminate that mortgage insurance within the next couple years, as opposed to sitting there paying rent trying to save up. So That was just another quick thing that, you know, we were talking about for a while, is down payment. If you don't have that 20%, it's not the end of the world. Most people don't when they're buying their first home anymore. Now they're buying, you know, second, third home. Maybe, you know, they're pulling some equity from their current home. They might have that extra money, but a lot of first-time home buyers don't. So just those two quick things. Yeah, it's you know, interest rates, if you're not going to buy anytime soon, really don't matter to you. And when you are ready to go, you know, shop around, ask a few questions. You know, so we have, you know, our advisors here are we offer the lock and shop program. So if they know that you're a little ways out and, you know, rates have kind of been, you know, jumping around a little bit, they might see a lull in there and say, hey, let's just, you know, lock it in so you get that lower rate. But that's really, you know, when you're ready to buy a house, not, you know, hey, I'm thinking about buying in 5 years. What's the interest rate? And the other thing, down payment, don't worry about it if you don't have that 20% down. While it is the best option, right, the more you put down, the better off it is for you. But if you have the income, I'm always more focused on that monthly payment and making sure that you're comfortable with that monthly payment. I know personally that was my thing when we bought our house, was just really worrying about the monthly payment more so than that down payment. So, you know, anyone has any questions, you know, anything, shoot them in the comments, and hope to talk to everyone soon.